Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. I'm Ebere Ugunna. In the headlines this morning. State information officers urged to key into ICT for efficient service delivery. Igbo youths advised to avoid being manipulated by politicians in coming elections. Gunmen kill 3 people in Kaduna fresh attack. And on the foreign scene this morning, million dead fish course environmental challenge in Australia. Now, details of the news. The State Ministry of Information and Public Enlightenment has received more computer sets from the state government. Unveiling the laptops, the State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Sidon Adinoba, applauded Governor Willie Obiano for promoting information and communication technology, ICT, in the ministry. Mr. Adinoba said procurement of the computers showed that the governor is passionate about promotion of ICT knowledge. He urged the information officers to see the availability of the laptops as a challenge for them to speed up their news gathering and processing skills, being one of their mandates, noting that journalism was all about speed and accuracy. The commissioner promised the staff capacity building programs to improve on their writing and editing skills. The acting permanent secretary of the ministry, Mrs. Obiageliaku Umeade, while receiving the laptops from the commissioner, thanked God for blessing the ministry with such a man as Mr. Adinoba. The special assistant to the governor on media, Mr. Tony Nezianya, who coordinates news in the ministry, confirmed that all the information officers working with him could now effectively use laptops as opposed to the time that he assumed duties. Earlier, the acting director in the ministry, Mr. Anthony Nweke, thanked the commissioner for ensuring that the laptops were delivered as he promised. According to him, in order to be effective, there was need for training and retraining in order to equip staff with the right skills to cope with the demands of the job. Christians have been challenged to discover the purpose of God's call in their life. The vicar of St. John's Parish of Bagana and Jikoka Kensal area, Reverend Canon Jackson Onyakabusi, made the call in a sermon during a church service. Amaka Chibuzokoye has details.
Reverend Canon Onyakabusi maintained that human existence on earth is to serve God, lamenting that some Christians do not work according to God's call.
God has called us to serve Him here on earth, and each one of us, he has also called for a specific purpose. I'm challenging Christians that each person should discover the purpose for which God called him or her.
At St. Mark's Parish at Bagana, the assistant parish priest, Reverend Father Francis Ezenwanne, said a true child of God who is baptized in his name should live according to his precepts, be respectful and humble themselves before God and humanity to ensure that they portray God's light around. Reverend Father Ezenwanne pointed out that not all that were baptized are sons of God, urging the parishioners to allow the Holy Spirit to lead them to participate in God's work, stating that through baptism, sins are washed away and Christians are given mark of being true Christians, which will differentiate them from unbelievers.
Jesus onwe dịka o si memere Chukwu were gbanwuo mmiri ya bụrụ ebe eji asọsi apụta ọ bụrụ na Jesu na o bụ njọ kama ihe o ji memere Chukwu bụ nke mbụ ka kụziere anyị na mmiri Chukwu bụ ezigbo ihe nke ịbụa ka ọ gbanwuo mmiri anụma ka ọ bụrụzi mmiri na-enye ndụ mmiri na-asacha njọ.
Also at St. Mark's Umuawolo, Reverend Victor Kulunebe advised Christians to stop running from pillar to post, but to have strong faith in Christ to attract his interventions.
Because the very day no other person can help you.
In all the churches visited, prayers were offered for peaceful 2019. It's been Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
2 persons have died while not less than 7 shops were reduced to rubble after a trailer driver carrying his wife and 2 children veered off the road and rammed into roadside shops. The incident happened directly opposite the National Open University of Nigeria, Bagana, and eyewitnesses and bystanders alleged high speed and possible intoxication on the part of the driver, who is currently in police custody. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe reports that already men of Anambra Traffic Management Agency, ATMA, were on the scene clearing the debris and towing the vehicle involved away. His reports.
Reacting to the tragedy, the member representing Njiko-Katu constituency at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Pete Ibida, who had already mobilized hands to clear the rubble, described it as unfortunate and admonished motorists to be considerate to other road users and understand that the art of driving demands immense caution and concentration.
I advise our motorists to drive with caution, to drive safely, to be mindful of other road users. If you are driving, you drive consciously, you drive safely. It's a degree of safety.
An eyewitness and shop owner whose 3 shops were ruined in the disaster, Mr. Daniel Okechukwu, said that on ramming the shops, the trailer driver's wife, whom along with their 2 kids were on the passenger seat of the vehicle, berated her husband for refusing to heed her constant complaints about his reckless driving and high speed.
Just for my bag and idea, this medium back here, not up to 3 poles. So that showed that it was excess speed. It could not control the speed. So there's no other, I didn't have any other choice than to use my shop as a way.
The senior special assistant to the governor on internally generated revenue, Chief Peter Mwazojie, in his reaction, said the incident was an unfortunate circumstance and commended individuals who are helping to clear out the area.
I have to be really involved, and you can see my representation who has been here putting his resources, putting everything together to make sure that people who are doing business here start back their business, making sure that the vehicles are removed. Everybody should take time and walk, drive slowly and carefully.
A sympathizer, Mr. Elijah Onyaba, attributed the incident to the proximity of the shops to the expressway and advocated proactive measures that would eliminate roadside trading, especially on busy roads. The said trailer, which also ran into a parked tricycle on its way to the shops, has already been towed away by men of ATMA. From Abagana, Njikoka Council area, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
And away from that, the senator representing Anambra Central Senatorial District, Chief Victor Ome, has called on Igbo youths to unite in order to be a force to reckon with in Nigeria. Senator Ome gave this charge when the State Youth Leaders Forum Ohanese and Igbo Youth Wing Worldwide of the 7 Igbo-speaking states of the Southeast and South-South paid him a courtesy visit at his Aguluzibo country home, Anocha Council area of Anambra State. Senator Ome thanked them for their unity of purpose and commitment to better the lots of Ndibo youths, as well as Ndibo in general, and appealed to them not to allow politicians to manipulate them in any guise, as regretting that Ndibo have been relegated to the background over the years in the scheme of things in Nigeria because of lack of unity, cohesion, love for one another, among other unnecessary internal power tussles. Senator Ome made it clear that his sole mission in the Senate is to ensure that his constituents, Anambra State, and the entire Igbo nation have a say in the affairs of the nation, and assured that no amount of intimidation will cow his voice in the Senate. In his address, the state youth leader of Ohanese Ndibo Worldwide and the Anambra State Youth Leader of Ohanese Ndibo, Mazi Chukuma Okpalizuku, said that the Ohanese Ndibo youths came to thank the senator for his numerous works aimed at giving Ndibo voice in the Senate. In less than a year, he assumed office and expressed the hope that his service in the Red Chambers would translate to great benefits to Ndibo and the nation at large, especially the youths. The Ohanese Ndibo Youth Wing Worldwide later presented Senator Ome with an award of gratitude for his courage, zeal, and commitment in giving Ndibo voice, as well as defending the cause of the Igbo nation in Nigeria. The senatorial candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, for Anambra North District, Dr. Chinedu Emeka, has said that the monumental achievements of governments enthroned by the party in the state in the past 13 years has guaranteed victory for its candidates in this year's general elections. Dr. Emeka made this assertion during a stakeholders meeting of ABGA in Anambra North District at Onitsha. He particularly identified the Community Choose Your Projects initiative of the present Anambra State government as a development model that has been used to deliver democracy dividends directly to the masses. The Anambra North senatorial candidates disclosed that all members of ABGA vying for political offices in the forthcoming general elections in the country have been indoctrinated and compelled by the party's constitution and leadership to regard the party's mantra of "Be your brothers and sisters keeper" as sacred. He added that with this solemn commitment by the candidates, the Anambra will continue to enjoy enduring good governance and impressive delivery of democracy dividends. Dr. Emeka, who is a former deputy governor of the state, commended Governor Willie Obiano for his conscious and deliberate efforts to protect the lives and property of the citizenry, as demonstrated practically during the recent Yuletide period in Anambra State, which according to him was the most peaceful and blissful in the country. No fewer than... We're going for a short break, and when we return, stories from our national scene and foreign scene. Please stay with us.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
proper funding,
training,
and cooperation.
If it happen.
If it happen.
If it happen.
This is Ikolo Community, and this is Otana Community. As election time nears, politicians arrive with money. Members of Ikolo Community sell their vote, but Otana Community refuses to be settled. They vote for the candidates of their choice.
I do solemnly swear that everything...
After election, the Ikolo school needs repairs, but the politician has already settled them. Otana Hospital needs repairs too. Otana Community demands action and gets results. Your vote is powerful. It builds the future. Don't be settled.
No sit-down look.
No sit-down look.
Make una no sit-down look.
Very good to have you back for the rest of the news. Moving on to our national stories. No fewer than 3 persons were feared dead during an attack by unidentified gunmen between Aso and Tanda Bridge in Gwang Chiefdom of Jema's local government area of Kaduna State. Mr. Peter Averik, chairman of the local government, who confirmed the development to newsmen, said the attack took place around when unidentified gunmen opened fire on innocent persons who were walking along the Aso and Tanda Bridge. Averik further confirmed that the 3rd victim's corpse was found earlier on Monday in a bush path at Waza village before Aso. He said arrangement had been concluded to convey the injured persons to Barao Diko Specialist Hospital in Kaduna following a referral from Sir Patrick Memorial Hospital, Kafanchan. The chairman said the security personnel had since been drafted to the affected community, adding that the government would continue to ensure the safety of lives and property. On business news this morning, there is no budgetary provision for the construction of the 3,050 Naira megawatt Mambila hydropower project the federal government has declared. The government said the claims that the loan negotiations for the project had stalled since 2017 because of an attempt to utilize $600 million from the project for an alleged pet project not hitherto considered by the Federal Executive Council were false and misleading. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, condemned reports suggesting that the project had been stalled, adding that the China Exim Bank would only disburse money for specific projects such as the Mambila Power Project after the conclusion of negotiations. It was a joyous moment over the weekend as Mr. Chukwemeka Mordelim of News and Current Affairs Department of Anambra Broadcasting Service took his heartthrob former Miss Chinyelo Medebem to the altar for holy matrimony. The wedding ceremony, which was held at St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Ifitoka, attracted House of Assembly members, including Deputy Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, ABS family, led by the Managing Director, Nze Uchenwara and friends, and well-wishers who gathered to witness the great occasion. Correspondent Ogochukwu Keke, who covered the report.
In a holy mass to mark the union, our visiting priest, Reverend Father Celestine Ekweme, described marriage as an institution ordained by God for companionship and multiplication, and charged the couple to have spirits of understanding and unite themselves in love.
Dedicate yourself, donate yourself, give yourself, all yourself, your heart and your mind, your body, your everything you have, even your life.
While expressing his joy at the wedding reception held at NUJ Press Center, Oka, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, ABS, Nze Uchenwara, congratulated the newly wedded couple and prayed God to bless, increase, and multiply them, as well as help them to grow spiritually.
I'm very happy, very glad, and we give God the glory. But our prayer is that God will bless them, increase them, multiply them, and give them joy, like we say in Igbo language.
The chairman on the occasion and director, News and Current Affairs Department, ABS, Mr. Gabe Opaleze, urged the couple to embrace God to have sustainable and fulfilling marriage.
Our gathering here is to make merry that they have agreed to be husband and wife, and also to tell them that we were there when it happened. Anytime you're together, the devil wants to come in. Remember that there are so many people that witnessed this occasion, that you are not going to disappoint all these people.
The sponsor of the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Ernest Nwebo, prayed for everlasting joy in the marriage. Parents of the groom, Mr. and Mrs. Linus Mordelim, and the bride counterpart, Mr. and Mrs. Nnamdi Medebem, expressed gratitude to God for making their prayer come true and prayed for his guidance and protection upon the couple. The groom, Mr. Mordelim, described his wife as epitome of humility and a virtuous woman, while the bride, Mrs. Mordelim, said the husband is a God-fearing man and thanked God for bringing them this far and prayed for God's wisdom in their marital journey.
She's very submissive, down to earth, caring, loving, respectful, and she'll continue to live up to expectation.
Most important thing is God's will. It's in her hands. So I'm very comfortable with that. His responsibility is not very, that is why I just.
In their separate remarks, the Deputy Speaker, Anambra House of Assembly, Honorable Harford Oseke, the member representing Orumba North at State House of Assembly, and Chairman Committee Development and Gender Bond, Honorable Romanus Obi, the Special Assistant to Speaker on Media and Publicity, Mr. Imam Mado, described the groom as obedient, respectful, and hardworking, wishing them best of luck while advising them not to allow third party into their marriage. The wedding ceremony featured exchange of marital rings, vows, signing of certificates, cutting of wedding cake, couples dance with ABS family, and presentation of gifts to the new family. From State NUJ Secretariat, Oka, Ogochukwu Keke, reporting for ABS News.
A great one there. Moving on to the foreign scene. As many as 1 million fish are believed to have died along the banks of a major river system in drought-battered Eastern Australia, and the authorities warned of more deaths to come. The banks of the Murray-Darling rivers are thick with rotting fish, with officials putting the number of dead at hundreds of thousands and saying the toll is likely closer to 1 million. Further high temperatures forecast for this week could make the situation worse, the New South Wales government has warned. Low water conditions and the heat may also have encouraged an algae bloom that starves the fish of oxygen and produce toxins. The deaths have become a national issue, sparking angry allegations about the cause and who is responsible. And on sports news, Christian Chukwu, former Super Eagles coach and technical advisor of Rangers of Enugu, said he was optimistic that Rangers would qualify for CAF Confederations Cup group stages. Chukwu said in Abuja that Rangers would repeat their away victory over Bantu in Lesotho in Enugu on January 20. He urged his players not to relent in their determination to scale through the group stages. Rangers International of Enugu on Sunday defeated Bantu FC of Lesotho 2-1 in the first leg of the playoffs at the Setsoto Stadium Maseru in Lesotho. And that's it in the news at 7. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And just before we go, the main points again: state information officers have been urged to key into ICT for efficient service delivery. Igbo youths have been advised to avoid being manipulated by politicians in coming elections. Gunmen have killed 3 people in Kaduna fresh attack. On the foreign scene, we brought to you that 1 million dead fish have caused environmental challenge in Australia. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Iberi Ugonna. Good morning, Anambra. Continue shortly. Please stay with us.